Okay, what's up? Can y'all hear me? Listen. I was under the weather, but I feel a little better now. And I said I got to do the live. I was out here babysitting, but I said I got to get up on the live and talk to y'all for a second, for a show that we have to do. But I've been grieving because I lost my grandmother, and we lost Reverend Jackson, and I was grieving for that. So we will resume the morning lives next week. We'll resume the morning live next week. We had a cold, we had allergies. It was a lot, but we are here for Sunday. Okay, we are here for Sunday, and I was just dreaming really, really good, and I was like, "Who's making all this noise?" And I had woke up and I was like, my nieces, like, they woke me up out of good sleep. And mind you, I was dreaming I was rich. I was in one of my rooms in my mansion, just really having a good dream. Like I was having a good, wealthy dream. Like I'm like being wealthy. And they literally woke me up out the sleep. So I'm up here getting myself together. Then my niece, I'm out. She allergic to cats. I'm like, we don't have cats. And then I go in the restroom, do stuff. So I'm hearing all this knocking at the door. Tell me why they throwing stuff at the door when I'm literally in the bathroom trying to get prepared for this show. They throwing stuff at the door. I said, why y'all throwing stuff at the door? Clean this house up. This house was clean. It's like a tornado went through this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got let me come on the live because these kids, this is why I'm so glad that I don't have kids. I couldn't do it. The noise, all that type of stuff. And I said I definitely don't need it. But we will be resuming the morning shows next week, to get that back on there for the morning show. But we are here. There's a lot that we have to discuss in this video. We're gonna ask you guys a favor to thumbs up the live when y'all come through. We did another live. We was loud. We was boisterous and stuff. And I'm trying to do the live when I have the house to myself so we can be all turned up. So we want to get into this whole situation with Bishop Shearer. So I was watching a video. They was mad. One of the bishops was mad because Bishop Shearer was at the back and he wasn't at the front. And I was like, I understand your point, but you gotta understand they had presidents from Colombia, they had dignitaries, they had Congress people. So this is not a cogent event. It's not a cogent event. It's like he was able to sit on the floor, and it was a lot of people. I was gonna go to the funeral, but I thought about it. I said, it's too many people trying to get on the bus, go to this funeral, and it was like super, super packed. But they really had some good service. I'm not even gonna lie. They had some good service at the funeral. It was really, really good. I enjoyed myself watching that. And he really had a good home going. Especially at Rainbow Push, they had the event, and I'm like, wow, he really went on a tour. He was in Carolina. He was in the council went in DC, but then he had one. Then he had his body viewing at Rainbow Push Chicago. Then they had another event. I'm like, he really went around, but he deserved it. He deserved all that because he is a civil rights icon. Even though I was like throwing shade at Reverend Jackson, but Reverend Jackson did a lot to help Black people. I didn't know that he had helped Black people get into like the corporate world to sit on boards and all like that. I didn't know. Oh my God! Yes, super chat. Thank you, Adam, for the super chat. Yay! Reach our goal. We got to increase the goal to like 5 people because y'all always used to go, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Yeah, we did that. Thank you for the 499. So he did a lot to help Black people, and I'm amazed by that amazed by that. Even though Abby Phillip, she wrote a book about Jesse Jackson. I read the book, by the way, and it was really, really good. But she talked about some of the bad stuff that Jesse did, or some of the controversial things, because he was so media hungry on the media. He was so media hungry. Make sure y'all had his house clean. And he was like so media hungry, being in the media and stuff like that. And so, but he had ran a 84 campaign, 1988 campaign, but he also did so much in the 70s, helping people get into the boards, buying stocks to go to those stocks, meeting and stuff like that. So he did a lot. And may he rest in peace. And I'm like, we have to continue to work because it's a lot of work that needs to be done right now. We must continue as a society. Now, I'm here because T.S. Madison, D.L. Whisperer. Now, mind you, she was granted a temporary restraining order. Couldn't be around. He couldn't be around her for 500 yards. And DL Whisperer had a restraining order against her, but his restraining order got kicked out. Now hers was granted for a year. He can't be around for 500 yards. He had already broken the restraining order by sharing a video, and that's why he got arrested. Yes, there we go, T1000 for the super ticket. Thank you, Anna. Y'all coming through today. That's what I'm talking about. He had already, you know, violated the restraining order. And from a person that had two restraining orders against her, we didn't violate. Once they just told us we could talk about this person, we could talk about that person. We didn't talk about that person until them 2 years was up. Then we talked about him, okay? But I made sure once I had like two restraining orders against me, I said, let me research these restraining orders. Let me see what I can and can't do. They was like, you can't talk about them to a third party. And mind you, I had told my cousin, I said, listen, you got to get me to Chicago. You got to get me to Chicago. You got to get me to Chicago because I got to answer this restraining order. So I went and I answered to it. And then another person had a restraining order, and they was trying to get me caught up. Oh, he violated the restraining order. He violated the restraining order. I was like, excuse me, Your Honor. With all due respect, I was never served that restraining order. And she was like, okay, we'll just serve you in open court. We'll just serve you in open court. So they served me, and then he was like, can you come back for another hearing? And I was like, no, it's kind of hard for me to come back. So she was like, well, we're just granted for 2 years. That was like years ago. And I did not, you know what I'm saying? I did not break the restraining order. I went and did what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, let me not break it because I don't want to go to prison. Because they don't play around with the straight order. They don't play around with it at all. So I experienced that. But the thing about with DL Whisper, you didn't do your homework. How you know about DL men and what DL men are and what DL man is and about the S of DL man, and you don't research a restraining order. You know you can't be talking about T.S. Madison. If you have a restraining order, you cannot be violating that talking about T.S. Madison. Don't talk about her. Don't post about her. Don't share a video about her. That's common sense. And then he gonna Tasha K with her line behind, well, I should have told him not to talk about T.S. Madison shared the video. I should have told him you didn't care nothing about no DL Whisperer. Because if you did, you would have you would have tried to get him bailed out. You would have paid for a lawyer. You don't care nothing about the DL Whisperer, Tasha K. You only using him is because he's against the T girls. He's against the T girls. He's against the girls that the guys that deal with the girls and the girls that deal with the male parts. That's what you care about. You don't care nothing about the DL Whisperer. You literally set that man out to fail. But at nobody, but the DL Whisperer ain't got nobody to blame. Like I said, but himself. You can just put in AI. What can I do if somebody put a restraint on her? And AI would tell you, and I'm gonna tell you, this is the wild AI. Don't post or talk about the person, not even the third person. So then T.S. Madison, Tasha K did a segment. Tasha K did a segment. I believe that was yesterday or day before yesterday. I believe it was on Friday. And she was like, she talked to the DL Whisperer. Now T.S. Madison said she want to subpoena the jail phone call of the DL Whisperer. And she's really trying to get this man caught up in some mess. And I'm like, DL Whisperer ain't got nobody to blame but herself. It's just not good at all when it comes to some stuff like that. So I'm just saying, like, this woman literally set this man up. Now he in jail with no bail. They ain't playing no games. Now, this whole situation, Tasha K was like, well, it's a side of the internet with the Jay-Z and all them. Y'all know I'm doing my video. Hold up. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Go stop all that noise. I'm live. So that she was talking about half of the internet is the good internet that don't sue, then another half love to get the lawsuits and all of that. So, and I'm like, I don't know why the DL Whisperer would even call Tasha K from the jailhouse phone because those phone calls can be subpoenaed. And he probably could get himself caught up in some more mess. This is crazy. Say something reckless, end up like 10 years is a lot of years. And I don't want this to be caught up with the DL Whisperer because, again, he does have a space on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch his content. That's not for me. I don't need to know about DL man and stuff like that. I slept with a plethora of DL men, pastors, husbands. I don't need to be up there worried about what the DL whisperer is saying about a DL person. I don't care because I slept with my fair share of DL men and husbands and preachers and all that type of stuff. I don't do that stuff anymore. I've learned my lesson because again, they're not gonna leave their wife, they're not gonna leave their church to you, they're not gonna marry you, they're not gonna put a ring on, they're not gonna do any of those things. Okay, not gonna do any of those things. Tusk would never shut up, even if she had told not to say anything. And she's doing this because it's all for content. It's all for clicks and views. It's all for just clicks and views. And I'm definitely praying for the deal with that he learned his lesson. Do I want him to serve a decade in prison? No. But if somebody said that you are not to talk about them by a court order, you need to follow that court order. You know what I'm saying? Because T.S. Madison not playing. She even did a video where she was crying, and I'm like, T.S. Madison, she was crying. She literally did a video. She was at the what do they call that? At the GLAAD Awards, and she was on a red carpet, right? And she just started breaking down in tears. I'm like, but why is she crying? Like, what's the point of why is she crying and all this? It's not really that serious, but she's literally out this emotional toll. Like, hey, I have got this person, what this person was doing to me. I'm not playing. He's been trying to come and do all this crazy stuff. But then Tasha K posted something where they read his credit report on the live, but they didn't say his name. They just read some stuff on the recorded report. Didn't say his name. Did not post his address. But the bad thing with DL Whisper, he actually went past T.S. Madison home, was recording it, doing all type of stuff, and that's what got him caught up in the situation. Now, Michelle ATLN Brown posted that she's going to go to court and she's going to go to court and that she's going to cooperate with DL Whisper and testify on his behalf. I'm like, I'm here for all this mess and drama, but y'all gonna get that man caught up in some more legal stuff. If I was her, I don't want to let women get me caught up in that mess. Because these women will get you caught up, and then when you locked up, they know where to be found. I guarantee you, Michelle ain't putting money on them books. I guarantee you, Tasha K ain't put money on them books. I guarantee you, they not even sending that man a letter. Only thing they would do, they'll take his phone calls to be messy. They'll see what he had to say on the phone call. To be like, well, let me call him and see what he had to say for some gossip. But they're not going to be caring about, or let me take care of his phone. Let me take care of his books. Let me put some more, so he get some honey buzz, some noodles, and all that. Even Dominique got a restraining order against him too. So he got 2 restraining orders. If I was him, I wouldn't talk about him. There's no need to talk about him. But his audience, no shade to the women, they like it when he talk about the T-girls. They like it. They love it. They think it's entertainment. And he was doing the most. And they actually donated, I believe, almost $10,000. They donated to his platform to help bail him out of jail. But that means, that means nothing when you don't even get any bail. So that could be something that he could put on his books, but he don't even have any bail. So I'm like, what the world's going on? Y'all got to do something about this. And I'm like, I'm seeing this and I'm like, okay, Tasha K said what she said about the whole situation with the DL Whisperer. But she didn't say, well, I'm going to give him $5,000 or $10,000. She didn't say none of that. She said she was gonna get a man 10,000. She said that she gonna get a man 12,000. She said she'd get a man on 13,000. She'd get a man nothing. She didn't say nothing of that magnitude. But my thing is, he helped her get some tea, but then it got him caught up in some drama. I think that DL Whisperer need to listen to my words and be like, when you come out, you can still talk about DL men. But you just can't talk about, it's a plethora of T-girls. You still can talk about Cherry. You still can talk about the girl from you can talk about Cherry. You can still talk about the other girl that was on Orange is the New Black. You can talk about her. You can still talk about some T-girls. You just can't talk about Dominique, of course. You can't talk about T.S. Madison. Because if you talk about them, you're going to get yourself caught up in some mess. It's a mess, okay? Like, you just got to be careful. You're going to get yourself caught up in some drama that you don't need to have. And again, when I saw his mugshot and he was like, so they can talk about me, but I can't talk about. No, you can't. You can't. They got you caught up in a legal thing. And at all. Like, you didn't even have no lawyers to defend you in the court. They literally had you on there on the video time when you had court in a civil court, and they had you on a video call and you couldn't even respond to that. That's just how it is. And like the same thing with Armand, he have a restraining order against someone, and they can't talk about him for 2 years. Just don't mind it. Don't talk about him. You can talk about me all day because I know how to annoy you. It ain't gonna bother me. We don't live in the same city. I'm gonna annoy you and move on. But you can't talk about Armand Wiggins. But then we post a clip and they had said Armand's name, and I was like, "You gotta be careful with that. Like, just leave it alone. Like all that type of stuff. You can't do that. Like, if he got 2 years against you, you can't talk about him. Let it be some other type of content. Because I'm not gonna talk about you. I'm moving on. Because I'm like, it ain't make me no difference. I was like, I'm gonna move on to some other type of content. But if you know you can't talk about Armand for 2 years, don't talk about the man for 2 years. Because Armand went to court. He had his lawyers involved and all that type of stuff. Then I'm being dragged in court documents. I'm being dragged in all that type of stuff. And if I do have to testify, I'm like, Your Honor, like we've been trying to warn this person not to talk about Armand Wiggins. We've been trying to warn this person not to, to take care of their mental health. It's okay and stuff like that. Don't talk about the man. Because again, if you can't talk about somebody for 2 years, if you can't talk about the man for 2 years, that's what you can't talk about for 2 years. It is what it is. It is what it is. So the restraining orders, it do matter because they said if you do talk about me, I can go to the police and tell the police, and then they'll be able to put a restraining order, and they'll be able to arrest you, get a warrant out for your arrest. Even in that situation with the Armand situation, he had the person that was going to get that had the restrainer. He have it on there, but the judge was like, "Listen, if you're not if you could be around him only at the court, but you can't be certain amount of feet, but you can still be at the same court." So that was a beautiful deal. Usually judges be like, you can't be around that person at all, but at least in that you can still show up to the court case. So it was still kind of a good deal because you can still do the court case if that's what you want to do. But all this you get a restraining order. This is what happened. I remember when this happened in the B sector when Five when she got a restraining order against VS, and she had 2 years. VS couldn't talk about 5A for 2 years. She had a restraining order against her, and that was literally a restraining order that she had against her in Chicago. And I'm like, you just got to be careful. And them 2 years definitely will go back super, super fast. You won't be able to talk about it. And the TS Madison one is a little different because it's only 1 year, and 1 year be gone. Before you know it, we'll be in 2027, and you'll be able to talk about her again. But you can't be driving. But you will know what to do. You can't be driving around the person. I'll never forget it. The reason why I had two restraints against me because I was dragging people on Facebook, on YouTube. I was calling people. I was texting people. I was calling, texting. They didn't show up to their house, but I was cussing, texting, calling, and all that type of stuff. And when they was able to get that restraining order, they used all them videos of me. Because I mean, I was a hot mess on Facebook. When I tell you I was a hot mess on Facebook, I was a hot mess on Facebook. And then when the police told me, they said, "Hey, you got this restraining order. You can't be around this person." Even if they invite you to the home and be like, "Yeah, you come over, you can spend the night. If we catch you here, we will arrest you." And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So I had two. So again, I learned my lesson. I'm like, okay, I know what to say. I'm not gonna cuss them out and stuff like that. I'm not gonna be calling and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because one of the person that was on there, they was saying it was like, I don't want this for Marquise. I want to remove it, and they really questioned that person, saying, "You better not remove it." Like, really? Like, I'm like, okay, it is what it is, whatever. But the 2 years went by super, 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 super fast, and. And after 2 years up, I went continue to talk about it, but in a different type of way. I didn't call them. I didn't leave no voicemails. I didn't call their people. None of that because I had to learn my lesson. You're gonna learn. Like if you have a restraining order, you're gonna learn. You gotta definitely learn your lesson. So I learned my lesson. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be saying this. I'm not gonna be saying this. I'm not gonna be cussing them out on Facebook. I'm not gonna be texting them and calling them every 3 days. I'm not because I was ruthless. I was calling you in the middle of the night, and I kept calling. And one of the daughters of the person they had a restraining order against me, they called me. They said, "Why'd you call my mom?" And blah blah blah. And I cussed them out, and I blocked them So so again, I had to learn my lesson. I said I'm not gonna do this. I learned my lesson when it comes to stuff like that. When it comes to these restraining orders, you because you can read about it, research it, and I was like, you have to learn your lesson. I was like, I learned my lesson, and I said, and I didn't even fight it. I just said, just give me the 2 years of not to say that to him, and I move on. And I'll never forget it. One of the person that had the restraining order against me, she was like, I wash your clothes, I wash your clothes, and then the person came up and they said, he broke the restraining order, and I had to get my clothes. So I worked out a deal with the judge. The judge's like, yes, you get your clothes with a police escort to get your items and stuff and all that. And it was bad. It was all family drama. It was all drama, family drama, and stuff like that. And literally, that's what it was. And I didn't know how to handle the hurt and the frustration, so I just took it all on Facebook. I was everywhere with it, right? So I just have to learn my lesson. I learned my lesson, right? I learned my lesson when it comes to stuff like that. But you have to be careful with the restraining orders because it will get you caught up with some mess. Okay. They said Tasha K got a now. This is another topic I want to talk about, and I know a lot of people was discussing this. I didn't watch nobody commentary because I want to make sure that my commentary don't sound like somebody else's. So I did hear that Tasha K made an announcement. She said, "Hey, I want to put out a GoFundMe page." Let me see if I can read that statement here. Oh, okay, yes. So she back, so I can kind of close my door and get a little bit quiet. Let me see what the statement that she wrote. I want to read it to you guys. Make sure y'all thumbs up and share the live. Thumbs. I need y'all to thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Guys, we need 80 likes in here, so more people when they are. Make sure y'all thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, really quickly. I need you all to thumbs up. Okay, thumbs up. Thank you so very much for y'all to thumbs up the video for that type of way. Okay, give me a second. But she said, "For let me make this clear. The only gift want is to get out of the bankruptcy and restore my full freedom of speech. For years, y'all have told me to start a fundraiser, and I refused, but y'all kept pushing me to do it. So I'm finally listening. To clear this 3.5 million judgment, I'm launching both a GoFundMe and a Kickstarter. GoFundMe, pure donation that will go directly towards paying down the debt. Kickstarter merch and sensitive tears to return for your support. The Kickstarter will officially launch on my birthday, March 10th. Thank you for convincing me to do this. Who am I to turn down my blessings? To the haters, drag what you want. If I'm choosing the chapter once and for all. So right now, the GoFundMe is definitely at. Let me see what it's at actually. Right now, I'm gonna read it. The GoFundMe, she only raised $6,000. She only raised $6,723. That is the amount that she did raise on her GoFundMe. But this is the thing. The reason why I think this is a scam, and I'm gonna give my reason why I think it's a scam. Number one, she still got all them employees. If you in all this debt, you want to pay off Cardi B, you need to fire your employees. Now, if she came out and she fired everybody and she said, listen, I'm gonna just have my husband have the camera and edit and all this type of thing, I'll be like, oh, okay, you give her a couple of dollars. But this is the thing. She could have literally been put out this GoFundMe and raised more money back then, but it was her pride. And then also, if you in all this so-called debt with Cardi B, why would you have a team? You have an assistant, you have Jasmine, you have an African. I think you got your best friend, and maybe somebody of those 5 paychecks, and then you paying your husband. So those 6 paychecks, then you're paying yourself. That's 7 paychecks that's going out plus the $20,000 per month you gotta pay to Cardi B. Why don't you just say, let me just lay off all these people because we can't afford it, and let me go ahead on to pay the debt. So if you notice and say, hey, I'm paying these people off, paying these people, and knowing that you in this debt, you know you in the debt, you know you got to pay this debt, you know you got to do this. Why would you have all these employees? You could have been paid off if not a million of it, probably 800 to 900,000 of it, because you could have cut off all them expenses. It's no need for you to hire Jasmine. You can literally click the picture and click the video on there yourself. You don't need to have an assistant. You don't need to have office space. It's your expenses of your show is through the roof, and that money can be going towards Cardi B. And if you was a smart businesswoman, you should have been day one. You should have been day one put out the GoFundMe when you had the internet on fire. I mean, you was hot. You should have had it out soon as she got that judgment. You should have did your public video and you said, you know what? I'm going to put out the GoFundMe, and maybe you would have raised about 250,000. Maybe. I don't think you would have raised the 7.5 million. I don't think so. Your people ain't got it like that. And then back then, we wasn't in a bad economy like we in now. I just read somewhere today when they said that unemployment is up in America. That I think they said 95,000 people lost their job last month, or it was almost 100,000. Like, people go through. You got the stock market doing bad. We in a war, and people don't have like that. People don't have with getting food assistance like that. So people don't really have money or disposable income just to give you money to say, hey, here you go. Let me just pay off the debt. First of all, you got yourself in a situation. I understand if you had like a house fire, or if you need shelter because you homeless. I understand that we should give to that, right? But you in this debt because you can't keep your mouth closed, and you didn't take down on videos. They literally gave you multiple chances, and you say you wipe your A word with it. It was just sad. So it's just crazy. Why did we kept telling her to do? Absolutely, we kept telling her. I always say Tasha K don't need Jasmine half of the time. Jasmine's not even on point. Where even when she asks the applicants of water, it takes us forever to get these things or pull up certain clips. So it's just like a waste of money. You already got your husband that can do all those jobs, and you even got AI that can do all those jobs. You don't need those people. It's just literally a waste of money. This is not the time to say, let me get a staff. Then you have a staff person just to post clips on Facebook, to post clips on YouTube, to post clips on TikTok. You and post clips on your X page. You need to be doing that yourself. And let this be a learning lesson. Then you got to pay the nanny to take care of your son because you got him from Africa. He was a child soldier, and they had people under his leadership. He's a child soldier. And then now you have moved him from Africa, learned all these different multiple languages, and all that. It's just crazy. So somebody said, Wiley, check your sources. Tasha asked the winos as she helping deal with get some dough. I'm a subscriber, but you wrong. But what is she helping the DL Whisper with? She didn't say she helping the DL Whisper. Did she say she helping the DL Whisper? I open up the phone lines. If you want me to open the phone lines, you can call in and give your thought. She ain't helping the DL Whisper. She didn't say she was helping the DL Whisper. I didn't hear her say she was helping the DL Whisper. Give me a second. We open up the phone lines. If you think she helping the DL Whisper, you can definitely call in. Give me a second. Where we at right now? And you can just definitely call in. Let me put the number on the screen here. Let me see. Just the number. Do I have the number on here? Because I know you got a lot of stuff to say. Okay. She said she spoke to sister. Man, please. She is not helping the DL Whisperer get out of that court stuff. Hold on, let me see if I can open up the phone lines. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, give me a second. Let me put the number on the screen here. Because I know the moderator's got it in the chat. 972-674-9462. But she ain't say she had that man together. She didn't say that at all. I didn't hear her say that. I'm just saying. So they say yes. When she said that, call in and let me know. She paying for his attorney? Really? And she got to go GoFundMe page so she can pay for her legal fees? I don't believe it. So she is paying for his for deal with legal fees. Really? When did she say this? When did she say this? When did she say she was going to pay for the legal fees? That's what she said she's going to pay? Okay, so when did she post that she was going to pay his legal fees? I didn't hear her say that. You said checking your fact. I did not hear Tasha K say she was going to pay the legal fees, but she already got a GoFundMe page to pay her legal fees. They said, okay, give me the timestamp and we'll play it. Give me the time, we'll play it. Hello, you live on the Wiley Show. Oh, wait. I hung up by accident. My bad. Let me call back. I hung up by accident. I hung up by accident. I'm sorry. You said doing her live? Okay, I can't hear. They said so she's going to pay for the legal fees. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Hey, you live on the Wiley Show.
Hey Wiley, it's Queen. Um, I was calling in because I don't know if she's paying for his attorney's fees, but I do know that she did make a statement the other day and she said that she spoke to his attorney. And I don't know if you know that Michelle, she had like uh how a TS Madison's house meeting with like a few of the bloggers like Binge Worthy, House of Aaron, her friend Justin. And I think that you should really take a look at that because they were talking about the DL Whisper, like her friend Jason or Justin. He said he agreed with TS Madison for getting that boy locked up because at the end of the day, there was an elderly woman in the home. You know what I'm saying? And I know you recently lost your grandmother, and you know, anybody on here, I just feel like it's just certain lines that you just don't cross. You don't make threats against our elderly. You know, they are innocent. They have no clue about this social media. This is you know, our platforms and stuff, you know. So you know, by him riding by the house, making those threats and stuff, he's exactly where he needs to be, in my opinion.
For me personally, he made a major mistake by sharing that video that Tasha K did. That was a major L on his part. Because when you get a restraining order, you can't share a video about a person because that's added to the harassment. But again, I'm not going to say I disagree with the restraining order because again, if you feel that your life and then she is a caregiver of her mother, you do what you have to do. It's up to the DO whisperer to make sure that he don't violate it. The same thing with Dominique. I didn't even know that Dominique had one until she did a live and said she have a restraining order two against him. So you have two of them. And they're going to call, even now with Tasha K doing that video, via Tasha K said that she was communicating with Dia Whisper, but then T.S. Madison said, you go get that man hemmed up in some more mess because I'm going to subpoena those jail phone calls. So it's just a lot. And I'm like, they not even giving this man, he didn't even get bail. So he's messing up on his part by even bothering somebody that got money to take you through the legal process. Like T.S. Madison, she used that
Exactly.
coin to say, hey, let me get my lawyers involved. Let me videos. Let me download what was said. I don't have a problem with him talking about DL people. Like, that's what you want to do. That's fine. But he had really jumped the gun talking about this T.S. Madison and Dominique situation. He could have talked about them. He did a little bit too much. Going to T.S. Madison home, posting stuff about Dominique, all this stuff. It takes away from his
Yeah.
message. Because last time I checked, T.S. Madison not a DL man. Dominique is not a DL man. So why are you bringing them up in your messaging? So it's just like he messed up on that end. I feel like if he would have just stayed on talking about DL man, the symptoms of DL mans, the quality of DL mans, I don't think he would
Or
be in
his
this situation.
experiences, Wiley. You know, his experiences with the guys that he interacted with, you know, because that's what he can speak of because he was there, right?
Okay, I don't know. I think he's just speaking
No,
on
I'm
way
just
he think
saying,
is that
like,
way. Somebody said Michelle and Tasha gave DL her address. T.S. Madison is going to put them both in jail. I don't know that to be factual. Well, no. When I watched
this
T.S.
is going to
Madison's
turn
video,
into a
she did
Rico.
have Michelle posted her address on the live. I did see that, and then T.S. Madison reposted it on a recent Instagram live, and I didn't know Michelle did that. I don't know if she knew
But
that
Wiley, she
T.S.
showed up
Madison.
to Sheree's house with Funky Dineva,
Okay, yeah, she did do that. I agree, and they had to go to
and they
court for
were on
that.
camera.
Yeah. And they had to go to court for that. Somebody said right here, he a grown man that Tasha K is supporting. TS is doing too much too, and they both wrong. That's what they said right there. But again, TS Madison have the courts in her favor, like it's in her court in her corner, and said, hey, he can't be around you for 500 yards. He can't post about you at all. And then these restraining
Yeah.
orders are very serious because it could get him hemmed up. From my understanding, he could serve a minimum of 10 years in prison. So you got to be careful with
Oh
that.
no.
And then you
Okay, so
can't
let me
talk
say
about it for
this.
1 year. So
Okay, so let me say this. Like when you go before the judge, if you're gonna get bond, they tell you all these stipulations. Like, hey, if it's a protective order, you can't reach out to this person, you can't send roses, you can't go through a third party, you can't say, hey, go and tell such and such I said this. So that's where he messed up because that was explained to him and he signed on a dotted line and said, hey, I won't violate these terms and conditions of what the judge told me. And if anybody knows anything about court, the judge don't like to be mocked or played with, you know?
I agree. And I feel also too, all of the women supporters, they did donate. From my understanding, somebody said they donated like $12,000. So obviously you have an audience that cares, especially for those that send you money to help you.
Uh-huh.
But you can't violate those trend because I think
But
once you
can
get
we
through this
talk
league, go ahead.
oh, sorry. Can we talk about the climate that we're in? You know, they're saying, oh, trans this, trans that. Y'all should be worried about this, that, and the third. My thing is we're not bothering nobody. Like we've had the world and our community against us for a while. You know, it's certain things. It's in a trans world, in a black as a black man, there's a certain limit. You know, when you make it to 25, you become an OG. That's like a life accomplishment. There's a lifespan in the trans world. You know, I've exceeded that. Madison exceeded that, and I just want to say that people need to be more compassionate. I get some people have their differences with trans women, but all trans women aren't like that. Of your perception, just like, you know, I grew up in a black household, you know, but I'm not a product of my environment. I did something different. You can be positive, like you don't have to be angry. And if you are a certain way, there's certain things that Madison, you know, she expresses that I won't express, you know, like
Right.
genitalia,
I agree.
swinging
I
and this, that, and the
agree
third.
with you on that. And I feel that, my friend was trans. She lost her life in her 20s. So
Oh,
it's so
sorry
to
to hear
make it
that.
in your 30s and 40s as a trans, that's an accomplishment because the data shows it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But I think we should love on each other more. But what Dio Whisper was doing, it was a group of women that supported that language, that rhetoric. They loved it.
Rhetoric. Mm-hmm.
They loved it. They said, "Oh yeah, say more, say more." And when he got caught up, when the restraining first dropped, they were donating money. One person donated $500.
But Wiley, nobody thought about the males, the heterosexual males that were maybe violated. Do you want to know how that made them feel? Nobody thought about them. The only thing that they were worried about was some tea. But it's real life issues where there are heterosexual men that never spoke on that.
That's true. I give you that. But it's like a whole. It was another guy. I forgot his name, and he would get it in with DL man. He would expose them. It got so bad they pow his grandmother's home, and he
Oh
he
no.
almost lost his life because he would expose DL people on Facebook.
I
And
remember that.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I
go
forgot what
ahead.
he didn't call himself like the DL. It was something that he would just
Didn't he
expose DL.
transition to like to be a
I
girl?
don't know if he just transitioned, but I know for a fact it was people that was really coming for him. It was like gang members. It was all type of people was coming for him because he would post this. He would sleep with them. He would really post them on the internet, And they went to his grandmother's house. They pow his grandmother's house, and I'm like, this is dangerous. Even though that's entertainment, but you're putting yourself at risk doing that. It's just not good at all to do that.
No, I don't. I gotta disagree a little bit. I don't feel like if you're in the bedroom and you come out here exposing somebody, how is that entertainment when the other person has no knowledge that you were videotaping them? They didn't get a laugh out of it. They're coming over. They're trying to be discreet because they can't be themselves because of our community will shun them, and so they come over, but that's why we can't be praising that type of behavior. Be who you are. And you won't have to worry about somebody telling on you or you looking over your neck or, you know what I'm saying? Just be you,
I agree. Well, thank
you
you so
know?
very much for calling in.
Okay, I got one more thing and I'm
Hello, you
Hi,
loud?
Wiley.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wiley, the DL Whisperer did absolutely way too much, and he is exactly where he needs to be. Period, Wiley.
So
He did
wait,
way
you
too
want
much.
him in prison or jail?
No, Wiley, I don't want him to do 10 years in prison, but he did absolutely way too much by driving past T.S. Madison house. So therefore, he needs to be taught a lesson. He needs to have that restraining order on him. And whatever happens when he gets out, if he gets out, he makes bail or whatever happens, he needs to follow the restraining order. That's what he needs to do. And he does not need to let Tasha K and them gas him up because he gonna end right back up in prison.
So I'm gonna ask you this: what did he do that was so wrong? You think that
Driving past T.S. Madison's home.
Okay.
He should have never took it to that extent. And I also want to say this to you too, Ali. I want to send my condolences to you on your grandmother.
Thank you.
And I want to say that I'm praying for you. And I'm so happy for you how you have handled this whole entire thing. You really turned everything around since Walmart. And I'm extremely proud of you. And I want to say that I'm happy for you and I'm praying for you.
Thank you. I mean, I want to thank my doctors because I could have really spurred out of control.
You
But
should have.
okay, I really handled it very well, and we're gonna bury her this Saturday. And I handled it so well, so I just want to thank God for the doctors and the help and stuff like
Absolutely.
that for that. But thank you for those condolences, and I want y'all also to pray for Rico. He lost his dog, y'all. Pray for him. I gotta call
Okay.
him. He's grieving. He lost his pet, and but to deal with a point, I feel that when he went to that house, that was it. Like that was a little bit too much because they tell you in the paperwork what you did or what when they want to grant that, they be like, oh, you went past person's house, you called them or you text
Mm-hmm.
them. You did too much going to that woman home, and I don't care if
Absolutely.
T.S. Madison posts her house 1,000 times. You up there posted that said you was gonna harm T.S. Madison, and she handled it right. I think people
She
wanted T.S.
did.
Madison to go out there and try to fight him. No, you got too much money, and you got the iHeart deal, you got
Yep.
the podcast deal. Why would you put your
Yep.
livelihood at risk just to have a moment for these people? No.
And you know what I'm noticing? It seems like Tasha K and them, they really hate T.S. Madison. They do not like her. They do not get along with T.S. Madison for so. And I hope nothing else spiral into something happening with T.S. Madison and Tasha K, because I like both of them. I don't want either one of them to nothing to happen to them too by them going to court because they gassing up the DO Whisperer. So I don't know. It just seems all of it. It just seems way too much, and it seems like TS gets a lot of hate. She has a hate community. That's what it seems like. It seems like people just hate TS for some reason, but I know that this
It's because
situation
of
is
what she
completely out of
represent.
control.
I think like what T.S. Madison represent, her being a trans woman. Some people unfortunately don't like that because they feel that she shouldn't be that way. She should be who she was born with, and I get that. But T.S.
Mm,
Madison does a lot for the community.
that's
I mean, she
terrible.
entertained people. She hired folks to work for her company. She had look what she doing for Craig, giving him a platform to
Yep.
be get his own home, their own tour, and all these different things. But I feel as though if you don't like, this go for whoever. If you don't like Tess Madison, don't watch her. I don't watch her because she got me blocked and she called out my name and all that type of stuff because I posted this was way back in the day. I posted that criminal that T.S. Madison is facing criminal charges. So she was like dragging and then so this is back in the B Center, you guys. So one of the people at the B Center, the VS, went to T.S. Madison event and it was chicken bones in a cup. And she was like mad about that. Then I was talking about that. Then all these women start calling in trashing T.S. Madison. So I get it. It's some people that cannot stand T.S. Madison. And that will never change. But she do have a lot of black women that love her. Majority of her fans is black women. So
I'm a black woman. I love T.S.
See, that's a blessing right there. And she got a new show out with Craig, and people love it. They don't like Craig half of the time because they say he be saying something controversial, but it works well for the show. It got to be somebody that can antagonize or try to shake the tree of the audience, and Craig is one of those type of people. So yeah,
they have to bring somebody in because Kaia to do what Kaia was doing. It'll never be another show like her. Kaia.
It would never be another show like that because Kaia was a one man show. Kaia had a lot of things work for her. She was in the industry. So you have to take, maybe she's telling the truth. She's been in the industry for years. She was a successful artist. She had a song, Got My Neck and My Back. So it worked very well. It was good comedy. And I don't think you could be able to beat a show like that.
I turned it on the other day just to get a laugh. Just to get a laugh, I turned it on. It'll never be another show like that ever.
Even when it was no shade when Kaia would even drag Nicki Minaj, when she would drag all these people by herself, and they would post about it.
Wiley.
Yeah, she would drag Nicki Minaj.
It was so funny. It was so funny.
And she don't care.
I'm not gonna lie, when they was together, it was the best. It was the best.
It was the best.
I always thought that they should come back together just for one show. It was
blockbuster rate. I will never forget the last episode I was watching this. I was never forget the last episode. T.S. like, oh my gosh, and all this stuff was going on. And then Monique with her messy tail, she was on Periscope recording it all. And I was just getting this tea. And T.S. was like, you leaving, sis? Yeah, I'm gone. She got in her van. She hit it. Like, that was like the last episode, only because T.S. Madison tried to grow the show, but she had the wrong people behind the scenes doing it. She didn't have the right people doing it. And it messed up a good thing. If they didn't have that fallout, they would have
been everything. I believe they would have took over the internet and TV.
Yeah, they would have been on TV. Even when Kaia did the live talk about T.S. Madison, keep them out your house, sister. We don't need to F them and all that stuff. Like when she explained it, I can watch that and it's just pure comedy. Their show,
it didn't have. It was like your old shows too, Wiley. Your old shows. Oh my God. Some of your old shows when you was in the B Center. Oh my God. You turn some of them shows on, Wiley, they just lift your spirits up so high.
Thank you. Because back then they had the internet on fire. It would be 10 or 20,000 people watching a live stream. And people at my job when I was working, they would be watching every night. Like, oh my God, you, Kaia and T.S. Madison. It was like a lit show. They went on tour. They made a lot of money. But I think that once she tried to grow the show, I think Kaia just wanted to keep it simple. And if I was that, I would have kept it simple. Oh, look at all the money they were making. And then she let who was that? Oh my gosh. And don't get me wrong, Larry Reid and them. And I think personally, they sabotaged the show on purpose because they were competition with Larry Reid and all that, and Vincent and all that. And now Vincent fell out with Larry Reid, and they dragging each other. But back in the day, that Kaia and T.S. I believe it was on Monday nights. They had the internet on fire.
Yep, the internet was on fire. People used to gather around, get their snacks, get their drinks, get everything together because they knew that it was going to be
it was going to be a show. Because you never knew what was going to come out of Kaia's mouth, who she was going to address, and all that.
Kaia used to eat them up. Kaia didn't care. See, Kaia didn't care what people think about her at all. She don't care. She just let it go. She just let it fly.
And she don't care nothing about being in the industry either.
No.
Kaia
That's
made
what
a
made the
choice.
show good.
Yes, she made a choice not to be in the industry. I don't think the show would have continued to work because T.S. Madison wanted to be an industry girl.
Yep,
She,
she did. They was eventually gonna have to split up because Madison had bigger dreams.
yeah, and Kai was like, I did this industry. I seen how cutthroat it is and all that type of stuff. She didn't want to deal with industry stuff. And Kai is comfortable being in her house that
Yep.
she owned and just talk her stuff, still do her music videos, do her music on order. And then that song that they came up with, Next Caller, I'm like, that song
Oh
was
my
great.
goodness, I love that. I forgot about that, Wiley.
Next call. I love Kaya. Like next caller. It was dope. Like Kaya can still rap, but she understand this industry is not good. And but T.S. Madison's the type of person. Look at T.S. Madison. She working with Tyler Perry, and she friends with Monique.
Yes,
And then
T.S. Madison then blew up. She blew up. It was good for her. She got exactly what she wanted out of it.
absolutely she
She
did.
did.
And Kaya introduced T.S. Madison to some women, to a group, to people in hip hop, to people in industry that did not know who T.S. Madison was. Tune in because
Yep.
and she took that and she ran with it. Like she built that and she went on tour and stuff like that. She tried to keep the Queen's Court going, but nobody could fill those
I did
shoes.
not like the Queen's Court when she would bring other people in. It was either good when it was just by herself, but when she brought all them other people in, I didn't like it like that.
No, I
I
didn't
only
like it
liked it
either.
when it was her and Kaya.
I
That's
think when
it.
she brought it was some good episodes when she brought fucking that diva, but then he talked about Blue Ivy. He got pushed back by that because he talked about the baby, and he was extremely controversial. But other than that,
Mhm.
nobody could top Kaya and Tia. That was like
Nope.
chemistry that you can't barely touch. Even back when I look on YouTube, it's like a duo called Kevin and McKill, the Scorpion Show. It's like that duo
Oh,
matters.
I
You know,
never heard of them before.
oh, but they was really hot back in the day. This is when I was in high school. They still on the lives now, but I'm talking about back in the kids was all in the background, noise, neighbors all up in the house. It was like it was really really lit back in the day. But nobody could top that chemistry because once you find somebody that you click with and work with, it's good.
Yeah,
Now,
it's a
unless
wrap.
you like the View, unless you got a solid program, you can put most people in the seat. It still work, and that's why the View is still out. But even with Sherry Shepherd, nothing against Sherry, because I did get an email, y'all talking about you need to lay off Sherry, you wrong. But Sherry Shepherd show,
No, no. The Sherry Shepherd show is trash. She stole Wendy's job, Wiley. Wiley, she
I
stole
agree.
Wendy's job right from under her. I don't care what nobody say. She did. And the show was trash. And she tried. It was just like Wendy. Nothing about it said Sherry show. It was just like the Wendy show. It was trash, Wiley.
I agree. You didn't lie. I agree with you on that. It was definitely trash, and she was so desperate for men. It was just like it just didn't work. And then
Mm-mm.
because one thing about Wendy Williams that she talked about things that we wanted to hear about, the gossip.
I
Then she
love
told
Wendy Williams,
the
Wiley.
shade. It was good. The producer was good. It really worked for her show, and it just didn't work. Like Jennifer Hudson, it works for Jennifer Hudson because I see that Jennifer Hudson is like the Ellen show, but then they got something that's identified with Jennifer Hudson. She can sing, and then they can do
Mm-hmm.
the tunnel thing on there. But I don't watch Jennifer Hudson show like that because
Me
she's a
either.
terrible host.
I don't really like it like that. It's okay. It's better than the Sherry Shepherd show though.
But it's better than the Sherry Shepherd show. It's better than the Sherry Shepherd show. It's no shade. It's better than Sherry Shepherd. I am kind of mad because 200 people are going to lose their jobs because people need to understand when you have a daytime show, you have 100 to 200 people working
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes. They're all going to be out of a job. But other than that, I think if she come back, do you like her podcast? I'm going to ask y'all the question. Do you like the podcast she got with Kim Whitley?
I didn't know she had no podcast. Who, Sherry Shepherd?
Yeah, two
See, I
funny
had no
mamas.
idea she even had
Only time I
a
listened to the
podcast.
podcast, no shade. They was throwing some shade at Monique, and when I tell you, when they threw
I
that
like
shade,
Mo. They need to leave Mo alone. Mo
they
don't
need to
play.
vote on play.
You
And
know
I feel
Mo will
like,
eat them up.
yeah, she was eating them up in the live. I just feel like with Sherry, it was DOA because that Wendy audience never received Sherry. They liked her co-hosting the show with the Wendy Williams format. But her trying to get her own show them cheesy jokes, them jokes that weren't funny. I don't know who
Mm-hmm.
be going to Sherry show because she's not a funny comedian. She's not a funny.
Nope.
When I was listening to Mike
Nope.
Epps, you might like Mike Epps. I didn't like his comedy special. It was trash. Um,
You don't like Mike F. Wiley? I like Mike F.
it's so hard to get me to laugh. The comedians that make me laugh, like Dave Chappelle, he makes me laugh. Bernie Mac make me laugh. Like, oh my god! But I
Love
don't
Bernie
know.
Mac. Love Dave Chappelle.
I don't know, like Mike Epps it just didn't hit it for me. And another person I know I'm gonna get some pushback. Cat Williams, he's not that funny to me. But his interview that he did was funny. It was I will never forget it.
I
I was on
love Cat Williams, but his last few stand up shows, they have not been that good for some reason.
No,
I don't
because
know
he
what
keep
happened.
doing too many of like he need to get some writers. Cause like I didn't even know this until I did some research that Richard Pryor had a writer. Paul Moody was one of his writers. So I would love he need to have writers. And somebody said something about that Tiffany Haddish. I don't like her comedy, but that Black Unicorn book that she wrote, it was funny. I don't know. I don't know if a ghostwriter wrote it for her, but I was on the plane. I read that book and to the plane land, and I was done with it. It was completely done. I said she did good with the Black Unicorn. Y'all need to read it. Y'all need to read it. She said she gave this slow man what at the group home some yoni, and he started saying he started talking regular because it was so good. I bust out in tears. I'm like, yes, I love that Tiffany Haddish book that she wrote. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I forgot. I'm like, I read her book called The Black Unicorn because I have a tendency. If you're a celebrity, you come out with a book, 9 to 10 chances, I'm going to try to go get it. Like next month, Brandy got a book coming out. I'm going to read it. Right now, I'm actually reading Jalen White. Y'all know Steve from from Steve Urkel, growing up Urkel. I'm reading that, and this book
Who
making me
got a
laugh.
book?
Dude, Steve Urkel, the guy that plays
Yeah.
Steve Urkel. I'm reading his
Jamel
memoir.
White.
Yes, Jalen White. And it's good. I mean, my mom said, you a bookworm. I was like, yeah, it's something about books that I love. I love reading the stories. And then when I get on the show, I can talk about it. In another book y'all need to be reading, that R. Kelly girl that had
Oh,
the got peed on.
Wiley. You read it? How was
It's good.
that one?
It's good. It's good. She dragged her auntie like when you read about Sparkle, you would kind of be like, you're gonna look at Sparkle and say, I think Sparkle is a predator.
No shade.
Because Sparkle
Yeah.
had some inappropriate conversations with her teenage niece that I felt that was inappropriate, and you have to take her side of it. But she really let Sparkle have it in that book, like, and it's like, especially when she started talking about her parents when she lost her dad. It's gonna make you cry. It's a good story. It should be a movie, and I'm glad that she's getting her just.
They might make it a movie because it was, the events that happened, and they might make it a movie. It was so
They
dramatic.
should. Like they should definitely, and she should definitely get paid by that because in the end she was talking about how she was trying to date and how it didn't work. It's going to be hard for her, and I hope that she's in therapy and she's getting the help that she needs when it comes to stuff like that. But it was like the whole world was watching you get abused, and the world didn't care. Like they didn't care nothing about that. Like the world did not care, and her parents, because they believed that R. Kelly, they allowed R. Kelly into their orbit. Even Sparkle was like, yeah, go sit on his lap, go do this, go make him your guy.
That's
Because Sparkle was
absolutely
trying to
terrible.
solidify her spot in the R. Kelly universe. Because you got to understand, R. Kelly was powerful. He was a powerful writer, producer, record exec. So you want to solidify, and Sparkle knew what R. Kelly liked, that he liked young girls. That's why she put her niece up on him. So it's just sad, but it's like her parents. It was like she talked about a lot in that book about her grandma, and I didn't even know she was in a group and that people loved her group in Chicago that she was in. I didn't even know that, how she had to leave that alone, and then she broke something down. When I forget, she said most of the hits that y'all like to listen to R. Kelly, we would be in the same bed of him writing those songs. I'm like, wow.
What?
And she was a teenage girl. Yes. She said some of them songs
Oh
that
my
we love,
goodness.
we'd be in the bed. He would be going over the songs. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wiley, you might need
Because
to
I
start you a
wasn't gonna
book
read it,
club.
but somebody on YouTube, I think Chronicle Speaks, posted it on the community posted on the community wall, and so I go on my Spotify and they had it available in my premium package. I said, let me listen to this, and she narrated the book and everything, and I was like, this is so sad. Like she went through a whole lot. And people didn't care. Like they didn't care. They didn't say, "Oh my gosh, this is child P word." They didn't care. They watched it and they paid money and people, it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
terrible. Wiley, you ever thought about starting you a book club?
I need to start a book club because I'll be like, get through the books real fast. I gotta restart it up and do like Zoom meetings, especially for Brandy. I think y'all need to. We're gonna do a Zoom thing for Brandy book. Her book comes out next month, you guys. Next
I
month.
love Brandy. She's one of my all-time favorite artists, the vocal Bible.
Yes,
Love her.
I love me some Brandy. And did you see when they had performed when she performed at the All Star game and she did the Star Spangled Banner?
Oh my goodness, she killed it. Yes, I absolutely loved it.
What was on your favorite album?
My favorite Brandy album of all time is Never Say Never.
My favorite album will be Full Moon. Full
That's
Moon
a
is
lot
my
of people.
Full
Mhm.
Moon 211. Um, then her new album Bipolar was my good one. I love that. Um, Oh my gosh. But yes, but never say never. Like Brandy, you can't like that's the vocal Bible, like her music. And as of all artists, like I will never forget it. I had got my Nissan Sentra. This was back in the day. You got 2012 Nissan Sentra with civil trim, and I drove all the way from Chicago to Baltimore to see her perform. And I believe they call it the African Fest. They call it something else now. But she performed, and I said, "Can't nobody do it like Brandy." And I love Brandy.
Nope. Me
Brandy
too.
is definitely. I love her acting. I love her singing.
She is
And
a
I love
legend, an
watching
icon.
Moesha. Yeah, she is a legend icon. Definitely love it. And I hated that I couldn't go to her concert, to Brandy and Monica concert. I was like, I really wanted to go, and I hope they come with a part two of it because they can make some more money. Because look how many times B2K been on tour. Bow Wow. If people still go to
Yeah,
that,
that's the Millennium Tour. Yeah, they going on tour again. They having another Millennium Tour.
yeah, so if they can do that for them, I know y'all can come out and see another The Boy Is Mine for that. And it was people that was saying why they not doing one in London and all that. I wish they would have did an overseas one because if they would have did one with Kelly Rowland, she would have outshined them because Kelly Rowland maybe I don't think she would upstage Brandy, but Kelly is very popular in Europe. They said she's on a
Oh, I didn't
Beyonce.
know that.
They said Kelly Rowland is very like she's on a Beyonce level in Europe. They said she's highly successful over there in the UK and Europe or something like that. So, but I would love to see, and it was
Wiley,
good.
let me
Good.
ask you a question.
Uh huh.
You seen? Okay, wait. So you seen Megan Thee Stallion laughing to the Cardi song with Bia, right? You
Uh
seen that
huh.
clip?
I did see
Okay,
that.
you saw Bia responded.
No, what does Bia say?
Bia goes on live and plays Bigfoot, and she plays "Lying on Your Dead Mom." She plays
Oh,
that part of the song.
Lord.
Yes, yes,
These
Wiley.
these women.
So what I was gonna ask you was, did Bia take it too far? And my answer is yes. But they're saying that Meg should have never been on live laughing over a gunshot. But they said Bia took it too far. Did Bia take it too far by going on live and playing Bigfoot and then playing "Lying on Your Dead Mom"
I
by
think
Nicki
so. I
Minaj?
really believe so. I'm like, I think
And
they
I'm
took
just
it.
like, absolutely yes,
I think so
absolutely.
too. Like even when Nicki did that song, I'm like, that's a little bit too far because what if your mom passed and people use your mom death as a lyric or as a song? I think that's too far. I really say we just go in the booth and just make good music. Because again,
Mhm.
I'm glad that Ti is back. You got him clapping back in a song. You got his sons, like
I
putting in
am
a
so glad that Ti and them is dog walking 50 Cent right now because I love when the bully gets bullied. I love
yes.
that.
You got. I didn't even know his son can rap like that.
Me either. I didn't even know first. I didn't even know Damani and them could rap like they can. They can actually rap. Like he's a super Ti Kids is super talented. Even Lil King, even Little King
Super
came out with his
talented.
few
And
diss
his
tracks.
other son do the rock and roll. They was like, oh, we gonna get a blues diss track. He do like the blues. And like his kids are very talented. And it's kind of hard when your father is so successful as a rapper when you step in those same shoes. But his son held his own. Like his son, and wait a minute, is one of the sons Tiny not his mama? That's his stepmama.
Yeah, Damani, the one who did Miss Jackson,
Miss
the one
Jackson.
who
So
had the
I
best
thought
diss
Tiny
out of
was his
everybody.
mama.
Yeah. No, that's not his mom. That's his Tiny's his stepmom.
And he came out swinging like that. That's the type of son you need in your corner.
No, the whole family step. That's the type of family. If y'all family not
Right.
tight like that, like no,
I don't want.
y'all need to
Okay.
rethink it.
Yes, because
I
they
don't
they
want it. We not stepping like the Harrises. I don't want it.
they they stepping in and they don't play no games when it comes to, and don't get me wrong, I love 50 Cent because he wrote a book, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, and a great book that he wrote, and he explained the situation with his son and stuff like that. But this trolling stuff, he does it. Some of the stuff be funny because like I didn't like it when he was trolling Big Meat, Lil Meech, and I'm like, I love that show.
Either
Don't
it
get
was
me.
so mean. It was just mean.
I love that show, and I'm like, why y'all got BMF like this? Like, you help bring BMF to life, and then you try to not bring it back out because you're mad at Lil Meech and Big Meech and all because they went over there with Rick Ross. I'm like, this is some petty stuff. And don't get me wrong, Big Meech always been around celebrities and different type of
Mhm.
celebrities, and so
Yeah, he
so
has. He was a real dope boy. That's what he did for real. He not playing.
he not playing, and I get it, and I understand it. And you should see that documentary. So I watched the documentary, especially the one with the brother, where with what's the brother name? Not Big Meech. What's the brother name? His brother name. So he the
I
big
don't
guy.
know his brother.
He literally did documentary, and it was good. It was like the BMF documentary. Part two was really really good. I watched the entire documentary, and I was like, this show still need to be out. Because I would love to see the part where they get caught up by the feds, when they have to go to court and all that type of stuff. They own it. They own it. Terry, thank you. Like Terry, I would love to see that. Like I would love to see, because the show was really, really, the BMS series was really good. It was really, really good, and I was like, why this show is not back out? Because the Power, don't get me wrong, I love Power. I watch all the Power videos. I watch
Mhm.
Power Force. I believe Power Force one with Tommy. This last season was the best. These last two seasons was good. It started off real slow, and I thought this is about to get canceled. But the last two seasons of that was really, really good. Then I canceled my stars. And then they said, we'll let you stay on for $2.99. I'm like, ain't nothing on this show that I'm gonna want to watch other than another Power one, the one that Keenan that's coming back out soon. So I'll probably resubscribe for that. But yeah. But I know, but again, I see what y'all saying in there. They said 50 Cent canceled Christmas on BMF. He did. I really love that show because like they had not Dream Doll, Cash Doll in there. I didn't even know she could act that
What's the
well.
celebrities on that show?
They had not K Michelle. They had Lord have mercy.
Young
She can't act.
Miami was on it
Yeah, man, she can't act at all. No
at
shade.
all.
Like at all, at all. And I don't get me wrong. I hope that she gets, 'cause the way how she held down Diddy. Like I hope Diddy come out and literally put her on the payroll because she held him down. So she ain't trash. Even though
I
they,
don't think they ever stop messing around, Wiley. I think she's still with Diddy right now to this day.
I believe so
I think
too.
she still mess with Diddy.
I believe so too.
I
And
believe
she
so.
never dogged him, even though she got trashed in
No,
media.
she didn't.
She never said anything derogatory to her. She wrote the letter. She moved on. Like whatever relationship they had is not for media
And her
consumption.
life or her career have not been the same since Diddy been picked up. I
That's
believe
true.
that she still mess with Diddy right now today.
Absolutely. I hope she shut up here. And I like Carisha Please the podcast. So I like
Me
that was
too. I
good.
liked it. That was her thing. She should have pushed that way harder than she should have pushed her music.
Because it was lit. She had the people viewing. It was different. It was a woman's perspective. It was her having these interviews. She did the G Herbo interview. She did the Diddy interview. She did the Saucy Santana interview, and her counterpart. What was the girl that she was in a group with? And don't get me wrong, I love her, but they should have stayed as
JT.
JT. They should have stayed as the group City Girls.
As a group, I believe they should.
I said the same thing about Chloe and Halle. They should have stayed as that group.
Oh yeah, they should have too.
Tried to break up. It's like, no, y'all good together. And I believe if the City Girls would have stayed together, they would be more popular. But when they tried to branch off, because neither one of them had a successful solo career. Neither one of them.
They didn't. JT got a little. She was, working with Nicki and had a little success with her singles or whatever, but something died down with JT. JT fell off now. But
Yeah,
she
JT
did
fell
have
off.
like a little streak for a little second, but then she fell off after her and Nicki got into it.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
because that's how they do
way
it. Like
better
when you get
together.
into it with Nicki, they have fans, they back chat. I'm not gonna support you. That's why it's good to build your own fan base and don't follow behind a person. Like it's okay to work with her and y'all do a song together, but trying to be so close and this is the queen,
Yep.
you don't believe it and all that type of stuff. No, and another thing, you don't want to box yourself in because what if you got to work with Megan? You can't work with Megan because she beefing with Nicki. Like I'm not understanding that. And don't get me wrong, I like Carisha, but I think both of them together was definitely a good.
They are way better together.
Absolutely. Even saw Santana died down a whole lot.
Oh yeah, and I used to love Saucy Santana. You know what I always thought in the back of my head? How come Saucy Santana have never penned a hit for Carisha? Like Saucy Santana can write. Like his songs be real good. I don't know why he never wrote or never did a song for City Girls or wrote for Carisha. They supposed to be best friends. I wonder why he never wrote for her before because he can write.
He definitely has some bops, and I think he needs to be a ghostwriter for a couple of females, including Carisha. They was at a restaurant in Atlanta. Y'all know that restaurant when the owner be putting his hands up like make more noise, make more noise. She was shaking her butt, and then Saucy was like there, and then Saucy he put move aside and let Carisha have her moment. It's like a popular restaurant in Atlanta. And the bottle girls, they all right there. They got your signs up with the person. And I love that restaurant. But I want to know, how did that food taste? Because for me to have this long, good introduction, all the people, the bottle girls all over me, all of the confettis and stuff like that, I want to know how that food, that V12, that's the name of the restaurant. I want to know, how did that food taste? The owner is a very attractive owner there, and he loved his staff. He be getting them in order and stuff like that. But I want to know how the food tastes. T.I. went there. I believe Fucking Neva went there. Tamar went there. I think the who's who of the black celebrity went to that restaurant, attend that restaurant. I just want to know how the food tastes. And what happened to Quavo restaurant?
I didn't know he had a restaurant.
Quavo had it. Is that the one with Quavo?
I ain't heard his name in a minute.
I haven't heard his name in a minute either. Is he like co-owners of that V12 restaurant? They said, oh yeah, that's what Tamar, unless she had the fucking, that's what she had fucking Neva birthday there. Yeah, I'll be watching it. And stuff like that. But yeah, Quavo fell off. The Migos, I think once Takeoff, but they fell off before Takeoff. But once Takeoff, his life was ended so early. Like, I don't think they can even bring back the Migos.
Yeah.
Takeoff.
Yeah, it'll never be the same.
But I remember they said, we better than Bone Thugs Harmony. I said, a lie. Bone Thugs and the Harmony was that group. It's
absolutely.
They had
Migos was that group too, but not like no Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Not like Bone Thugs and Harmony. No, like that was that group, like the harmonies, the videos. Oh, he the call. Yes, he the call. Okay, that's okay. Well, yes, he just don't go. He just not very active there at the restaurant. Okay, because I remember I was like, ain't that the same restaurant that Quavo? He the co-owner of that. But anyway, Bone Thugs and Harmony, like wake up. It's the first of the month. What was that video that people was dead? It was dead.
cuts all the time, back to back to back to back in the 90s and the 2000s.
They had like
90s
that
really.
sound. You know a Bone Thugs and Harmony song. You could be blind and you know that's Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like you know that
They had a unique flow and
it
cadence.
was a unique. To this day, there's no sound like them in music today. That's the
She
reason
said
why.
once Offset F Quavo's girlfriend, Sweetie, the group. Yeah, yeah, that's what happened. Once that happened, it was a wrap after that.
Yeah,
Once
that's true.
Offset had sex with Sweetie, it was never the same.
Yeah, Crossroads. That's the name of that Crossroads. Like you can't touch that. Biggie,
Oh,
this
Crossroads. Yeah.
you can't touch the song that Biggie did with them. And mind you, that song came out once Biggie passed. The song that Biggie came out with Bone Thugs Harmony. You can't touch that. That's just too. That's music. That's why the '90s. We go back to the '90s so much because every artist was different. Versus now, every artist, even R&B, they all try to sound like Chris Brown. Nobody had that distinct R&B sound like, oh, this the next R&B superstar. R. Kelly sound different from Usher. Usher sounded different from R. Kelly. Brandy sounded different from Monica. It was totally
Who is
different
even just
artists.
singing like that? Who can sing like that right now? To you, Wiley.
Oh my
That's
gosh!
just
Right
singing.
now, even though she's not really out
Because
like that,
I have no idea.
I love Jasmine Sullivan, but she's not out. But
Oh yes. Oh yes. She's one of the greatest. We're gonna
she's
have to
one of
put
the
a crown on
greatest.
her.
Um,
She
uh,
don't get enough credit at all.
what was the girl that said folded? The one that did the song with
Kalani,
Fold. Yeah, Connie. I love her.
a lot of people like her. Like a lot of people enjoy her.
I love her. Who else is out that's doing such a good job for R&B? I really can't name too many women that's out actively doing great in R&B. Even for the males, even the artists that are
Like Brent
Usher.
Fayez. I like Brent Fayez, but he can't sing, but I like his vibe a whole lot.
Oh, Coco Jones.
Brent
I
Fayez.
love Coco Jones. Listen, I have a crush. Every time I see her in Bel Air, I'm like, I would love. Once I get a billionaire, I'm gonna take
She's
her out on a date.
gorgeous, Coco Jones. That
She
she can
is
sing good.
so
She did good at the Super
gorgeous.
Bowl.
She is so gorgeous, and I would love to just see her like Coco Jones there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Coco Jones definitely got. She never. Who was that other girl? Chloe was good at one point, but again, she just battled with her sister. For I just think if she had the right producers and just the right
Yeah,
music,
for some reason they didn't get like a lot of promo and stuff. I don't know what happened with them.
they did. And then I think
Beyonce
a
and
lot
them do not promote them like that.
she did, and I'm telling you, like, because like Chloe, don't get me wrong, I love me some Chloe. She
She
could
could
sing
sing.
very well. Even
And
her
she's
sister have a
beautiful.
beautiful, beautiful voice. They're both beautiful, but they trying to produce and write their own music. I feel like if they had like R. Kelly to write them a song, or somebody like a powerhouse that know how to write good music, like Neo, he's another good person that can write good music for
Oh,
women.
Neo. Neo is an excellent songwriter.
Yeah, Neo's an excellent songwriter, and I didn't know he wrote hits like that. I'm like, whoa,
Oh
okay, because
yeah,
he
Wiley. Neo is that dude.
like Neo is that dude, and I'm like, oh wow, even I'm like, okay, Neo, even a dude that sang "Oh Happy Day" and Sister Act 2, he's a good songwriter. Like he had wrote some good
Oh,
songs
I didn't
too.
know that. I didn't know he writes
Yeah,
songs.
I didn't know that either. And I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know he does good songwriting. They was giving out his list and all that stuff like that. But don't get me wrong, I love Jordan Sparks. One song that I love from Jordan Sparks and Chris Brown.
Jordan
With no
Sparks can
air.
sing like that? I didn't know that.
That is my song. What was that?
I said I didn't know Jordan Sparks could sing.
Yeah, I love Jordan Sparks. Have a little breathing no air. I love that song that she did with Chris Brown, No Air. That video, that song, I'm gonna play that as soon as I get done with this live. Nobody can like that. That to me is just great. Like, oh my gosh, I love and then back like what happened to making duets and all that type of stuff. They Tasha, I got married to that song. Wasting it on. Oh wow! They said that dude for Sister Act was in a group called like high school something. Yeah, that dude that group and Sister Act too. He definitely
He
wrote some
could
good stuff. And
sing.
Justin Weaver. did that song with Chingy and some stuff. And I didn't know his family produced some songs for like Beyonce. He got a cousin that's a good producer. Oh, she said City High is a song. But who is your favorite R&B artist like for males?
My favorite R&B artist for males would have to be Alan Stone. Have you ever heard of him, Wiley?
You said Alan Soul?
Alan Stone. Alan Stone. Have you ever?
No, I never heard of him.
Okay, when you hang up, when you get off the live, look him up. He can sing really good. He can sing really, really, really good. And my favorite artist of all time though is Amy Winehouse. That was my favorite.
Amy Winehouse. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the one, Marsha? What was the one that she talked about her? I think her friend that committed. He had ended his life, and she made a song about that. It's called Marsha something. I can't think of her. If y'all know the name, post it in the chat. Even Jill Scott. And I'm gonna say this, I know it's gonna be controversial. I can't get some of my songs I like, but this new album, I ain't with it.
I agree with you, Wiley.
I ain't with this new album. I'm sorry, because when I played it, I'm like,
I agree.
This ain't for me. I'm like, what is this?
I love Jill Scott. She's one of the empires of neo soul. But this new album, it's been hard for me to try to get with too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She needs.
It's not like her past work.
She needs some good music, good writers and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. I love Lauryn Hill, and I would love, and I know we probably will never get it. I would love to get a new Lauryn Hill album, even though we won't get it no time soon. But I would love to do it. But for her to still tour on just one album, definitely just, and I can listen to
she's back outside. She did the D'Angelo tribute not long ago.
She's back outside. Oh yeah, that was the name of the song, Far Away. That was the name of the song. Okay. Y'all listen in this chat. Who sang that song, Far Away? Let me go in my YouTube. Thank God for YouTube.
Kindred. I think Kindred is the name of that.
Oh, Marsha Ambrosia. That song came out 15 years ago.
She's from Poetry. Marsha Ambrosia from Poetry.
Really?
Poetry, they can blow too.
Oh my gosh.
That was a fire neo soul group.
I didn't know that song came out 15 years ago. Time is moving by so fast.
Yeah, Jill Scott's first album is fire.
Wow, I can't believe that. I've been out of high school since 17 years. I got graduated in 2009. Time moving by so fast.
I graduated in 2007.
And then we got our reunion, and I gotta hit the gym because I'm gonna look all good at the reunion that we having it. So shout out to Chicago Military Academy, Bronzeville. One of y'all is watching my show and stuff like that, so shout out to y'all. But we have a class reunion. It's an all class reunion, so they have everybody from 2000. I think the school opened up in 1999, so I think the first class is 2003. They got 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, and others. But 09 was like the best. You know, we was the last one digit. 09, the rest was like 10. I don't even know how they say it now. But remember back in the day, since your class 07, 05, 09, we was the last one digit on the West End. And I just will never forget it. Like, yeah, we get old. Like, oh my gosh, we get old. And I was like, man, I can't believe.
It's a blessing getting old, though.
It is a blessing to get old. Like, I just can't believe I graduated 09. It's been so long that I graduated high school. And this guy, he said, y'all know each other now, but once y'all graduate, live y'all life, some people, y'all ain't gonna remember their names. I'm like, you lying. I ain't gonna never forget these people. I forgot almost everybody in my high school.
Me too.
Probably a couple people I still probably know their name. That I still follow on Facebook. Shout out to Jericho. Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Mr. Muhammad. I used to love to have a crush on him. I forgot his first name, but I know his last name was Muhammad. He was in a football team. So I want to know if he gonna come to the meet and greet. To the reunion. But yeah, I was definitely watching the reunion. Now I'm definitely gonna go to the reunion. I just gotta get my body in shape and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been like a long time since I've been out of high school. It's been like a long time moving by so fast. Like
It
wow,
is.
wow,
It is.
wow. But they said
And
Floetry.
things
I
is
love
happening.
Floetry. That's what somebody said in the chat. They wrote and sang on Michael Jackson Butterflies. Oh, and I'm gonna miss Michael Jackson too. And his movie coming out too.
Yes, his nephew playing him. That looked like it's gonna be real good.
That's gonna make a lot of money because I'm going to the movies to see that. I don't want
Me
to see that in
too.
the bootleg. I want to go to the movies and see it.
Hey, Wiley, I'm gonna let somebody else call in. We've been on here 43
Okay, we
minutes.
about to
That
get
means we
ready
was
to end the
having
show.
us
We've
a
been here
good
for a
time.
long time.
Okay, Wiley, you have a good night. Good night, chat.
Thank you. Good night to you, sister. Thank you for calling in.
It was wonderful talking to
It was
you.
wonderful talking to you too. Thank you. All right. Thank y'all so very much. We have put on a good show today. This is a good live. Well, that was good. We did a good live today. That was good. Absolutely. Thank you for the support. Okay, yeah, she called in. Uh wow, we was on the phone. How long we was on the phone? We was on the phone for 44 minutes. That was good. Well, we're about to end. So if you want to get your t-shirts, one of my subscribers, they got the t-shirt. Shout out to Queen B More. She got her shirt. Shout out to Tasha. She got her shirt. Make sure y'all get the merch. Get the merch. Get the merch. It was a white dude on YouTube. Lock him up. Lock him up. He was like, lock him up. But yeah. But we love y'all. Little black boy, you beautiful. Little black girl, you are enough. When times get hard, always remember to put God first. Make sure y'all thumbs up the video, share the video. Make sure you go get the merch. Go get the merch. It's right there. The moderators have it right there. Go get it. You can cash up us at Wally Show 1990. You can hit the link for Venmo. We got venmo.com/you/Wally Show. You could do that. Cash out Wally Show 1990. Follow us on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Love y'all. And I will talk to y'all soon. Wait, let's close it out.